Motovision are back for 97, and welcome to Issue 1, featuring AMA National Action from Gainesville, Florida. Beaucaire International is the first big European race of the season, and where teams unveil their factory machines. Talavera, Spain for the first round of the 250 World Motocross Championship, with good battles between Everts, Volant, Bavots and Tortelli. The 500s debut in Lommel, Belgium, where the sand takes its toll and produces some surprise winners. We go to Indonesia for round 1 of the 125 World Championship, and no luck for Paul Malin as Alessio Chiodi gets off to a flying start. Portugal hosts round 2 of the 250s, and no Tortelli, while Everts, Bavots and Volant try to take advantage. And we've got the first 4 rounds of AMA Supercross, which produced 3 different winners. That's all in an action-packed Issue 1 of Motovision, the video magazine.
Hello everyone, Art Ekman along with David Bailey, and welcome to Gatorback Cycle Park in Gainesville, Florida for the opening round of the AMA Motocross National Outdoor Season. Our defending 125 champion not looking too good right now, David.
Well, I guess he's got some kind of flu and he's just trying to get as much sleep as he can get. Probably can't believe he's got to go out there in a few minutes and ride as hard as he can for a half hour.
Our Suzuki track map shows a lot of turns, but we need a relief map to show what Gatorback is known for, David, elevation.
It's a lot of elevation, yep. The start is flat up on top, a lot of sand, but the best way to show you is once the race gets underway. Dave Coombs came down here, the promoter of High Point, and gave this track a facelift.
Okay, we're set to go for moto number 1 of the 125s. Number 15 is Craig. He gets the good jump on Lamson, but it is number 7, the Yamaha of Kevin Windham, getting the whole shot. Kevin Windham to the inside, you see him there. Number 15, Michael Craig making a challenge. Lamson trying to recover from the slow start.
He's got number 70 right there, Ricky Carmichael right behind him, coming off his first Supercross win in Atlanta last week. And both these guys got the speed and worked their way to the front. I'd be anxious to see if Carmichael can hang with him, though.
Bar to bar, Lammy makes the pass on Tim Ferry, a native Floridian. And look at Ferry coming right back into the action.
Look at that.
Oh, Raynard. A terrific clean pass on LaRusso. Look out for Robbie Raynard. He's got the speed to catch our leaders, Michael Craig and Kevin Windham. Here's our leader, Kevin Windham. He shares the 125 Western Supercross points lead with Robbie Raynard, who's currently in 3rd. But Lamson right now, who's trying to recover from a horrible start on the Supercross season, he's trying to move up. Kevin Windham being pressured by number 15, Honda of Troy's Michael Craig. On the inside, Craig makes the move. Good clean pass.
That was smart, very smart. He set that whole thing up coming down that sweeper, knew he had the momentum. Here's another look. Cuts out of that berm a little early. Just takes a shorter distance, goes right in front of Windham. Nothing Kevin could do about it.
Here comes Raynard, bar to bar. Windham has the advantage there. Oh, look at that. What a gutsy move by Robbie Raynard. 1 foot off the peg.
Here's another look. Raynard pushed Windham into that corner, forced him wide, then he sets him up, squares across the inside. Well, that was a little risky there because he almost took the front wheel of Windham just before that drop away. And what you can't see is just at the edge of the racetrack is a lot of rock from that quarry. If those guys would have ended up over there, that would have been bad news.
Steve Lamson making his move on Kevin Windham. So the defending champion is making quite a spirited effort here in the first moto of 125 action on a gorgeous day in Gainesville. Kevin Windham's situation now as he tries to hold off the 17-year-old. Carmichael from Florida has raced so many times here, has won so many times here in the amateur ranks, breaking Kevin Windham's amateur records. Kevin Windham on the inside. Ricky Carmichael, number 70, looking for the best opportunity to make the pass. Windham sweeping a little bit too far, and an easy move for Ricky Carmichael. Lammy has really been moving well up through the pack after a slow start here in moto number 1 of the 125s. Lamson to the inside. Raynard cannot hold him off. A great move.
That was smart. Lamson just carried all his momentum, took him right in front of him. He just cut the line away from Raynard, and Carmichael was right there watching.
Oh, and Michael Craig has gone down. He had a huge lead, and now our entire order is different. Steve Lamson, Ricky Carmichael, Robbie Reynard, and then Michael Craig. Steve Lamson, only a few turns away from the checkered flag.
Little shaky line right there. He hasn't been going there the whole race, but he holds on.
A bike length between the two, first and second. Another 30 minutes of exhaustive athletic endeavor. On the inside, whoa, look at this, number 15, Michael Craig's got the whole shot. Well, if you're hurting, that's a good place to start from. Going down on the inside, a domino effect. Jeffrey Willow, Sean Perolio, and Tim Ferry. Ferry having an awful time in the first moto, no points at all. Now he's starting from the back of the pack again. Ricky Carmichael has taken the lead, number 70.
Look at the way Carmichael got over that jump. Just pitched the back end out. He's actually jumping across over the inside corner marker. Pretty clever.
Decker, Johnson, Deegan, and Lamson, and Lammy is being really slowed down.
Look at that right there. He just looked like he had an inside line to get around Deegan, and Deegan got a little sideways, came over in front. Look at Lamson. That's a changes line again right there.
The overall is on the line as Lamson finally gets by Deegan. He's got the two Kawasaki's now as his next target. Decker, number 141. Lamson will be the first to try, probably. Yes, cuts him inside. Block pass underway. Sheik will now have the clear opportunity. Sheik, one of the eye-openers of the 96 season, was a 3-3 and a second overall here at Gatorback. He was very quick in the corners, quicker than anybody on the track. Sheik easily getting by Decker. Mike Gosler checking the time, checking his advisors as Steve Lamson is battling his own teammate. Here comes Sheik, number 29. Sheik, a very unassuming young man who works very hard away from the track, cuts inside to Steve Lamson.
Yeah, he did a little Edgar Torrenteros deal there. He put his feet up by the crossbar. He's got a lot of little tricks. And with this big of a lead, it's a great opportunity to show people he can do all this stuff. I don't see any weaknesses in his game.
Well, the checkered flag, that's all he sees right now.
Inexperience, that's about it, but he's learning quick.
Defending champion in the 250 class, Jeff Emig, wearing all black, going Oakland Raider on us.
It looks cool, but that could get a little hot out there today. Bradshaw all in white, trying to keep cool.
Okay, we're set for moto number 1. They're underway. Hole shot artist. It's Jeff Emig once again, the defending champion of the series from 1996. Number 1 has the hole shot and the lead. What a great acceleration by this young man.
Great way to start the new season with a number 1 plate, a hole shot.
Look who's right behind him, Jeremy McGrath, number 2. All this sets the scene for a great first moto on the 1997 season.
We could have a replay of last year. These first two guys, Beth, look at Jeremy and Emig just laying it over off that jump.
Jeremy McGrath right behind, and look who's third, Doug Henry on the 4-stroke. Our leader is Jeff Emig. This is the battle for third. Henry on the 4-stroke. And Larry Ward, Honda of Troy, really putting the heat on Henry now.
I've never ridden a 4-stroke, but I've been in Larry Ward's position, and right now I can tell you he needs earplugs. That thing's loud.
Pretty good roost, too, I'll bet.
Yeah, it's got a lot of power, and like I said before, everybody wants a lot of power, but if you can't use it, it doesn't do you any good. To get that power dialed in is going to be the real challenge for them.
Ward, bar to bar, has the advantage on the corner. Oh, he took the outside route. Now has the inside advantage. Henry coming right back. A great duel for third. The defending 250 champion, number 1, Jeff Emig now. Starting to approach the lappers. This could be interesting on this track.
Well, it's interesting anywhere, really, because you're riding around with guys that you normally don't ride around with much, so you're not sure what they're going to do, if they're going to take the inside or the outside. I used to catch guys and they're waving with their left hand I don't know if that means I need to go by on the left or they're going to move over. It's always confusing. And for Emig right now, he's got a pretty good lead, so he shouldn't have to be too concerned about it.
Can Emig become the 5th rider to win Gatorback in both the 125 and 250 class? He's well on his way here in Moto number 1. Larry Ward in 3rd. Here comes LaRocco. Oh, good. Oh, LaRocco almost went down, almost slipped out.
Faster they go up that hill, the better run they get at that double jump, and Ward just drifted a little too wide right there.
Ward looking back over his left shoulder. LaRocco took him on the right side. I think he was looking back maybe at Bradshaw.
Well, I think he's had enough of LaRocco breathing down his neck, and it's late in the race. This is when you start to get a little tired and a little cranky too, when things aren't going just right. You just want this to be over with, and last thing you need is at the very end of the race, you don't want to fight people off, to have more of them keep coming, and now Bradshaw's there.
Been a while since we took a look at this guy, number 2, Jeremy McGrath, who's running a lonely 2nd place.
I think at this point he's just lost about a half a second or so a lap to Emig, and Emig was strong here last year, pushed Jeremy to the very end, and Jeremy's probably just thinking right now what he can do to make that second moto a little better.
I love the style of Bradshaw, the way he sits on the bike.
I've always liked it, and I watched him ever since he was a mini bike rider. I know I've said that 100 times, but I just like watching him ride. He puts a lot of soul into it, and looks like he's got a better line there on the outside.
Damon Bradshaw going for the points right now. Moves into 4th place on Larry Ward.
Now these guys got a great battle. Looked like Hughes had made the pass. Button got him right back. Albertine is right there. He's coming down to the wire, and you can pick up a couple of spots right here if you're Albertine. If you do, looks like he's working his way to the inside of Hughes. A little bit better line right there. Takes it away. Now Button probably won't even realize that it's Albertine back there now and not Hughes.
The checkers for Jeff Emig, and a great ride for this young man. Getting set, the gate drops. Moto 2 is underway. Jeff Emig, another great start. Emig with Hendry right on his rear tire.
Henry's got a lot of horsepower in the top. That sand, that wide open section.
Whoa, look at Bradshaw, number 10, moving into 2nd place. After a very good first moto, Damon Bradshaw is looking strong. McGrath with a slow start here in Moto number 2.
Oh, I know that Bradshaw's so happy with that Manchester Honda ride. They don't put any pressure on him, and he'd love more than anything, even if he couldn't hold the lead the whole moto. I don't know what's going through his head, but I know he'd like to lead this thing for a little while at least.
Well, Bradshaw coming out of the amateur ranks with so much expectation and then so much success in the 125s, and the pressure just continued to build on the young man.
And he just smoked around the outside of that corner too. He's keeping the pressure on Jeff. Even if his line and from point A, B to C doesn't work out the fastest, he wants to show Jeff the wheel. Let him know he's there. Force Jeff to think a little bit before he goes inside or outside about what Damon might have planned.
Our leader is Jeff Emig, but the battle for 3rd is on with Henry, Albertine, and here comes Jeremy.
Jeremy's really picked off a lot of riders early, working his way to the front quick. He's got his teammate to get around first. And that odd sounding bike of Henry's.
I have a feeling we're going to have to get used to that. Oh, Albertine having a rough time of it. Here comes Jeremy McGrath. Looks back at his teammate as he passes him into 4th.
Well, Albertine had a kind of an odd line. Looked like he went in and meant to take the inside, messed up the berm and went wide, and then that line shot him back to the inside and came together. So Jeremy is looking at him like, where are you going?
Inside cut, Jeremy McGrath against his former teammate Doug Henry. Back and forth, side to side.
Look at Jeremy work inside, outside, over and over. Did such a good job. I mean, it would have been so easy for Jeremy to drift a little bit wide and not mean to, but fall right into Henry's line on that jump. So you're in the air so long, you come together, and Jeremy did a great job. He's polite, in fact, to hold it that tight and stay out of his way.
Jeremy McGrath, as we see Wyatt Seals, his mechanic, looking on, putting the crunch on Damon Bradshaw for 2nd place. Jeremy McGrath has just taken over 2nd place. Can he catch Jeff Emig? I think he's got time, especially at the rate of speed he's traveling on this track.
Albertine's been using that inside off that ski jump there the whole time, making a little bit of ground, and worked for him there.
What a move by Albertine now. Nice clean pass on Bradshaw. Albertine, number 8. Oh, and Albertine kisses the dirt.
Well, that's a slippery, tough section right there. I talked about that earlier when LaRocco was trying to make a pass. Front end got away from him, and then he got into some of those ruts, and down he went.
Jeremy looking brilliant right now. Emig, though, has not cracked.
Emig has been tough, and
oh, no, Jeremy slipped out on that slick area.
oh, his back tire went just over the berm, and as he gassed it, watch his back tires. Not in the rut just yet. He got on the gas a little early. That's what happens when you're pushing yourself. That's why Jeremy was making up so much time. He was taking those little bitty chances and getting away with it. Well, now Emig's got everything dialed in, and 2 moto wins. He's going to pick up 6 points and the overall.
Jeff Emig, the checkered flag, and the overall victory.
You beat McGrath stay up in both modes. Does that add anything to the win, or are you just out there with 39 other guys?
Well, I'm sure it adds something. You know, I don't really, I'm not really trying to focus on one guy. I'm just focusing on what I have to do, and what I think about all week happened. It happened today. I got off the gate just perfect both times. I was just all by myself, and that's the way I like it. The easiest way to win.
Every round of the 97 USA National Championship. 100 minutes of action per round. Available from Motovision. The 1997 motocross circuit hit the road for the start of the new season. Beaucaire is the first major race of the year and where Yamaha chose to launch their new team. Michele Rinaldi's team may be Italian, but both riders are American. Talon Voland joins the Yamaha team after leaving JHK Kawasaki and is joined by former Honda of Troy rider Mike Brown. Yamaha are also running an open class machine for the first time since the late 80s, but this time round it's a hand-built 400cc four-stroke.
And also we'll be doing some more photography now, and the press kits.
The wild-riding Talon Voland, who finished third in last year's 250 World Championship after a consistent season in the Kawasaki team, is hoping that changing teams will give him the edge he's looking for. Talon will be a welcome team member due to his 100% dedication and can expect the same in return from the passionate Chesterfield team. Fellow American Mike Brown is to partner Voland in their Grand Prix assault, but is an unknown quantity. He showed good speed and consistency to win Beaucaire overall. Andre Bartolini has moved from the 250s and will be one of the development riders on the four-stroke. He's joined by former 250 Grand Prix rider Peter Johansson. JHK Kawasaki are now the largest team in the 250s, with 3 riders. Remy Van Ries has remained with the Yander Groot run team, along with Frederic Bolle, who finished a respectable 5th last year. Sebastian Tortelli, who completely dominated the 125 World Championship, has jumped up to the 250s and is guided by Jackie Vimond. The mature and extremely fit 18-year-old revels in the 40-minute heats. 5th in 96, Frederic Bolle will struggle to improve on that in 97, but is capable of Grand Prix heat wins. Remy Van Ries is also capable of showing good speed, but is inconsistent. Germany's Pitt Beyer is the lone Pamo Honda rider for 97. The very rapid Beyer could be a title contender, but will need to sustain his form. Yves de Maria has been a championship contender for the past 2 years, but has failed to deliver. Starting 97 with a blood disorder and in a private team, it now looks less likely that he'll realise his dream. Team Johnson BFE Suzuki's Belgian duo of Werner de Wit and Marnique Bavots are teammates again for 97. De Wit can only hope for top 5, while Bavots should be battling for the title as one of the favourites. After a disappointing end to last season, Marnique should benefit from being stronger mentally. After winning the World Championship with Stefan Everts in '96, Team RWJ Honda will be hoping for a top 5 from the hard-charging Jocke Karlsson. The dedicated Swede is another rider who benefits from the 40-minute plus 2-lap heats. Riding with the number 1 plate again in '97, Stefan Everts seems more confident and complete with every championship. This year will be, without doubt, the toughest championship for Everts since Albertine left for America. With challenges coming from Bavots, Voland and Tortelli, this year promises to be a good battle for the number 1 plate.
The winter was over, the long hard training was over, and now it was time to get into the 1997 season. Talavera in Spain played host to the first round of the 250 GP. Stefan Everts, of course, was back with the number 1 plate to defend his position. He thinks he's done enough work in winter training, but there's many riders that want that plate, and they want it badly. We had the opportunity to talk to one of the pre-season favourites, Mike Brown from the USA.
Mike Brown, welcome to Europe. All new experience for you?
Yeah, it's a lot different. I've been over here for a couple weeks and getting used to everything, the way of living, and looking for a good year.
And your early season results look very promising, and you're very quick out of that gate.
Yeah, I do good starts. I've always been known for good starts in America, so hopefully that'll help me this year to get the good starts and good moto finishes. But just looking today for a top 5 finish for the first GP, and I think it'll make me happy for top 5.
Talon Voland, new team, new bike. Everything going well at the moment?
Yeah, I feel really good. You know, pre-season, had some really good races. I've won almost every moto I've raced on the Yamaha, so I feel very confident. And I think for me, you know, changing the team was a new motivation. You know, you get on a new bike, a new team, and everything's new to you. And I feel so strong mentally and also physically. I work very hard, so I expect today a very good result.
And those early season form was very good, wasn't it? Because Beaucaire and then Mantova. You must like the bike a lot.
We worked a few things out, and we did quite a bit of testing in December, and we got it all working the way I want, and I feel very strong. I think the bike corners really well, so I think that is my biggest asset or advantage compared to last year is my cornering speed. This year is my target just to win some motos, because last year winning only one moto, I was very close, very consistent, but
I see that to beat these two guys, I just have to win motos. So my focus now is only for winning. I mean, I want to be consistent, but I just want to win.
And I'm quite sure Marnik Barefoots has got some ideas of his own.
Number 2 played again last year, but we've seen spells during the year when you was the fastest and the strongest rider. Did you learn a lot from last season?
Yeah, I think so. I won 5 Grand Prix in a row, and that was quite easy for me, winning those Grand Prix. But it started in Brazil actually, that I was not in shape anymore like I was before, and I think my motivation now is to keep all the Grand Prix in the same shape that I was with then when I was riding those 5 Grand Prix and winning those 5 Grand Prix. But you know, you need a little bit of luck also, and I think it's a new season, it's a new motivation for me, and I want badly that one number 1 plate, that's for sure.
But before any of them get the number 1 plate, they've got to beat this man, Sebastian Tortelli, riding out of France, and he wants it badly.
It's a big year for you. You have to mix the education and the racing together.
Yeah, it's true. I think for me it could be a hard year because, you know, I'm just coming back to the 250, and I don't know, I have to learn another thing, and on this time, you know, I don't fix so one goal or something like this. Just what I wanted, to have fun on the bike, and we'll see after. That's just really what I come, and just for racing, have pleasure. That's it.
And having fun on the bike, we watched you at the Los Angeles Supercross. You really enjoyed that evening, and you looked so relaxed.
Yeah, I like Supercross too because, you know, I think now the good rider have to be good on Supercross and motocross at the same time, and the best place for learning is the United States. So I was there for winter time for training, and it was good. And I think now that 3 years I go there, and for me it was good learning there, and I think I have good progress on Supercross because I'm going there too.
And the bike, you have done successful testing, and the bike is running good now?
Yeah, just we do not so much testing because I went on school on the same time, and we just adjust the suspension last week, and now it's going pretty good, and I think it's good bike, very good engine, and all is perfect on the bike, so just have to do my job and everything going well.
To do that, they have to take this plate away from top man, world champion Stefan Everts.
Your winter preparation for the new season has been successful?
Yeah, so far it's been very good. I went to Spain end of January, and after that we got the new bikes, and everything went perfect. You know, I got no injuries in my practice sessions, and I just got a little flu for 2 weeks, but I think everybody gets sick in the beginning of the season, so so far so good.
And a brand new bike, much testing needed to make it competitive?
Well, we tested not so much, but we tried some different settings and different engine spec, and but not really like 14 days non-stop, you know, no. We did like 6 days, 7 days maximum testing.
It's always your thoughts that the first GP is not so important, but just to get some good solid points. You don't have to come here and win it. Is it the same for today?
Well, last year I was winning the first GP, and it's always very good for your mind and to have a good start. So if I can do it over, for sure I'm gonna do it.
And the new team setup is working well for you now?
Yeah, everything is working great. It's the first time we have the big truck out, and we just had everything ready on time. The last few days been very, very critical with getting everything ready, but for Holland everything is going to be 100%, but so far everything is good.
And so far you have 3 world titles, 1 125 and 2 250, so you're looking for the 4th?
Yeah, that's the goal. Hopefully I can equal my father this year, and that I can beat him in the future, but yeah, for sure the plans is to get the world title.
Well, you heard from Stefan Everts. That's what it's all about. Everts was there with a brand new rig, unsponsored at this stage, but there's rumours of a very big sponsor coming in very soon. Talon Volan was there looking at the line, as was Marnik Barefoots, and he'll be riding for the Johnson Suzuki out of Belgium again. Finally, they have a look at the gate for the last time before coming to order and getting Heat 1 underway. 25,000 anxious spectators, all at Talavera. The time is almost there. Round one, Spanish 250 GP. Who's going to get the all-important hole shot? Can it be the new boy, the new kid on the block? Stefan Everts in the middle of the frame. Number one, the gate drops, away they go. Number three gets there. Talon Volan's very quick out of the gate, the American, but there's the green Kawasaki goes onto the inside. That's got to be the new kid on the block, Sebastian Tortelli. Number 24 on the Kawasaki, moved up from the 125. You can hear the crowd already shouting their heads off for Tortelli. The little schoolboy from France, 125 world champion. He caused a sensation in 1996. At Christmas, he moved up and went into Supercross in the 250 class at Paris-Bercy. He showed them that he can run with the best in the world. And here he is, first 250 GP of the year. Kawasaki up front. That's Sebastian Tortelli. Moni Perfut on the Johnson Suzuki behind him. Then we're looking for Talon Voland. He's up now on the Chesterfield Yamaha. And then the popular South African Paul Cooper riding on the SoCal Kawasaki. Well, that's just the start of the race, and there's a long way to go, and we'll see who's done the winter training. Listen to the crowd. They've come to their feet. This is the man that they want to see do the work. The Frenchman Tortelli. He really is a household name all over the world already. He knows he's got work to do. Pit Byra's in there as well. He's still up there with them. There's a lot of racing to go. 2 heats today. The temperature rising very, very quickly. But there he is. Kawasaki can be extremely proud of the work that this man has done over the last couple of years for them. 17 years of age, exams to write. And there's Stefan Everts. He's starting to work his way through. He wants to get up there with Tortelli. Everts cannot allow himself to get too far down the pack. He wants to keep Tortelli in his sights. Tortelli, of course, just ran away with the 125 championship last year. And this is early days for this youngster. This is only Heat 1. He'll know already that he's got Marning Perfut. He was the runner-up in 96 to Stefan Everts. Then he's got Everts behind him. Then he's got the American Talon Voland. Talon Voland having switched from Kawasaki to Yamaha. Then a very, very popular rider, Yves de Maria, is in there as well. He's on the Honda. But it's still all about Kawasaki at the front. Everts will have to start making plans. You've got to get through every single Grand Prix if you want the world title. And you heard in the interviews earlier on just how badly they want it. Tractor is in there as well. Where's the American? Where is Mike Brown? Where's number 75? The man that did so well at Beaucaire. Number 2 back again. That's Mani Perfut, the strong man of motocross. Wonderfully prepared circuit. And behind Tortelli, I wonder if he knows what's going on. Stefan Everts has got serious pressure coming. He's got Talon Voland, the very quick American. Voland goes to the inside. They both jump side by side. You lose him in the crowd, but I think Voland has gone ahead of Everts. So that'll make Tortelli the race leader. Behind him will be Mani Perfut on the Suzuki. Then I think it's going to be Talon Voland, and then it must be Stefan Everts. Everts down to 4th. Not good enough at the moment, and nobody will know that better than Stefan Everts. He knows what he's got to do, but he's left it too late in round 1. Sebastian Tortelli, Kawasaki take round 1 in Spain. Second behind him is going to be Mani Perfut, and in third is going to be Talon Voland. And there is the legend congratulating him, Jan de Groot, the wizard of tuning. Well, many said it could be done. Sebastian Tortelli, first time out on a 250, and he wins round 1 in Spain. What a performance. Second to him, Monique Perfut, and third, Talon Voland. Talon Voland just relaxes for a second before getting back to the line for round 2. Tortelli's already down there, the Oxbow Kawasaki mounted rider, winner of heat number 1. Alongside him, I'm sure, will be from the US, Mike Brown, 75. Didn't finish heat 1, but he'll be looking for a better situation. Number 3, Talon Voland is there as well. Back to the gate. And Stefan Everts knows he didn't do well enough in the first heat. He's got it all to do in round 2. They'll wait for the circuit clear flag. Goggles adjusted, adrenaline is pumping. It's the whole shot again. Who's going to be there? What about the American riders? Look at the man, it's Tortelli again. Tortelli comes flying out the gate. The little youngster, Marnie Befoots, this time has tucked in behind him very, very tight. But number 10 has got up there as well. That's Pedro Tractor. Much better start for him. Where's the man? Where's Mike Brown that we're looking for? The rider that did so well from Bouquet. He should be up there with them as well. But it's still the little man, Sebastian Tortelli, still writing exams at school in France. So he's got plenty of work to do. And racing GP, look at the banging handlebars together. They don't care about this. Down the big drop-off. Great sponsor in the form of Oxbow and, of course, Kawasaki. Marnie Befoots on the Johnson Suzuki. There's Everts, back to 4th place at the moment. He'll want to pick up some points. He's got to get right up to the top 3. He needs himself on the podium. You've got to get through every single weekend of the year and pick up the points. Tortelli had a sensational first round. All winter they've been asking, can this youngster do it? Well, he's proved that he can. He just ran away with heat number 1. He said the Kawasaki handled well, the motor was good. Yonder crew are capable of preparing bikes for the best in the world. But the strong man is there as well. That's Befoots, not too far behind him. Then there's an interesting development with number 19, Thierry Bataille. He wants to get past Voland, but they still got this man to catch. Bataille, Voland, Everts, all behind Sebastian Tortelli, all behind the Kawasaki. The privately entered HRC Honda of Stefan Everts. World Championship number 1 plate that they all want. But right now the applause still goes on for Sebastian Tortelli. Whoa! He throws it away! Tortelli, it looked as if he got into a shadow in the trees. He certainly clipped something. He came down very, very hard indeed. That high-sided him badly, so that will change the position. Number 3 will go to the front. That's Talon Voland. So Talon Voland has got a bit of a break. Everts goes through as well. Well, this is going to mix it up. Sebastian Tortelli, one small mistake. It looked like a shadow. Look at this, the way it kicks him to the left and to the right. That won't do his body any good at all. Tortelli went down very, very hard indeed. And it's not often you see him make a mistake. A split second, so that man has gone to the front. Voland, the American, goes to the front. Behind him now, Everts on a charge. Then we've got number 7, that's Pitbyra. Then but look at Tortelli. Does he have any respect for his elders? No, he doesn't. He's just coming charging back through the field. He knows he's got to get back onto the podium. Talon Voland looking really good at the moment. Stefan Everts has got it under control. But the little man is coming. He doesn't care. Tortelli goes charging after Stefan Everts. World champion Noddy, he says, let me have a look at him. Look at the crowd, they see him coming back. They know that it's all about this rider, the little Frenchman. He goes past Everts. The 125 world champion goes straight past the 96 250 world champion. And he says, if you want the checkered flag, you've got to take it out. You've got to take me with it. I'm not going to give it up. Tortelli wants it badly this year. But they know the checkered flag is around the corner. Befoots and Voland. Who's it going to be? Befoots comes back. Voland is still there. America versus Belgium. Who's going to take the checkered flag? Yamaha goes over. Befoots goes over. They know the checkered flag is right around the corner. It's Chesterfield Yamaha at the moment. The checkered flag is there. The American takes it. Marnie Befoots gets second, but the all-important question is, where is Sebastian Tortelli? If he can finish in 3rd, that'll give him a 3rd and a 1st, but it will give Voland a 1st and a 3rd. Where's Tortelli? There he is, the Kawasaki rider. He's going to take 3rd in heat number 2. That will give the American Talon Voland the win for the day and the overall win for the Spanish Grand Prix. Well, what about Sebastian Tortelli? He's not looking that comfortable at the moment, being helped by his family, and I wonder if we're going to see him in Portugal next week. And so to Lommel in Belgium for round 1 of the 500 GP. The stars that were out for the day were Kurt Nickel aboard the very quick 360 KTM. Alongside him in the early morning practice was Johansson on the very, very quick new Yamaha YZM 400 and his teammate Bartolini. Jackie Martins, the world champion from '93, was back yet again to show that he can still do it. And then, after a bad accident last year, Trampus Parker from the USA aboard bike number 22. Joel Smets, the '95 world champion, to ride yet another year for the Husaberg team. And finally, Shane King, the current world champion, aboard his KTM. The scene was set for the riders to come to the gate in the first heat of the day. Time for the purists, time for the thick sand of Lommel, and time for round 1 of the Belgian Grand Prix. Regrettably missing from the line and unable to qualify was Trampus Parker from the US, but the rest of the heavies were there. 15-second board about to drop and the gate will go. Somebody's kicking the bike. It looks like Peter Dirks, the fastest man in qualifying. He's still kicking furiously as the gate drops, and away they go. We can see the Husaberg, Kawasaki's, Hondas. They've got a right-hand corner. Who's it going to be at the end of lap number 1? Kawasaki goes through. That's Leok. Behind him, number 4 is up there with the race leaders as well. Then it's the Husaberg. That's Joel Smets. Number 2, the '95 world champion. Well, they certainly got the race away now very, very quickly indeed. Wonderful sound. Then we've got number 1 in the frame. That's Shane King on the KTM as well. He was the current world champion, but it's still all about the big Kawasaki in the thick sand at Lommel. Leok, what a surprise man. Leok gets the power down very, very quickly. Belgian, well known for its very, very heavy sandy tracks. But that won't put off Jackie Martins, the '93 world champion. Then behind him we've got number 4. That's Lacquer. He's having a very, very good ride at the moment. Behind him, number 13. Then we pick up on Joel Smets. Bike number 2, '95 world champion. He knows what the sand's all about. Jackie Martin still in there. Look at the track conditions. Look at the ruts. Look at the lines. You could lose a mountain goats in between some of those whoops. Then it's Kurt Nickel on the Skymask KTM, number 91, the British rider. 13:59, he's still there as well. They've still got some race distance to go. Number 3, that's Johansson. That's the very, very revolutionary brand new Yamaha. That's Smets on the Husaberg. '95 world champion, showing what it's all about. Look at the bike swapping. Then it's number 7. That's Jackie Martins. Many world champions in there. Yamaha giving their new YZM 400 its first outing, and that could well prove to be a revolutionary bike for 1997. Kurt Nickel, Skymask, KTM. Then number 4, Lacquer. He's still there with the race leaders as well. Then we pick up on number 72. That's Bartolini on the second of the brand new YZM 400 Yamahas. But at the checkered flag, it was all down to Martins, Nickel, and Van Doorn after Leok had crashed out with only 2 remaining laps. And so to race number 2, first man to get to the line is Peter Dirks. He's not going to make the mistake. He was left at the gate the last time. He's going to make absolutely certain that that Honda fires up this time. They all come back and start to form up onto the gate yet again. There's Leok, bike number 49, beautifully prepared. Works machinery, absolutely at its best. Eyes down, look in. The 15-second board is up. The gate is about to drop. And away they go. Who's going to get into the first corner first? Let's have a look for a race number. Number 4, that's Lacquer. He goes through to the front very, very quickly. Behind him is Engel and then Caprani. The sound of these 500s pulling away through there. Bike number 3, Johansson is in there. Yamaha have had a good start to the year on a brand new piece of very, very high-tech machinery. But at the moment, it looks like number 49, Leok, has gone to the front yet again. The man that has really turned this whole race upside down today. Leok on the Kawasaki, sensational in race number 1, and now he's got it all to do. Look at the condition of the circuit. If you want to ride on this, you've got to be one of the best that there are. Number 13, Caprani, he's got it all together. You can hear that very distinctive 4-stroke sound. This is what the purists will tell you motocross is all about. Joel Smets, 95 world champion, but he's got a problem. Joel Smets has bobbed down. Gets it going again very, very quickly. Now Joel Smets has got that work to do all over again. This is Jackie Martins coming towards us. He had a problem earlier in the heat. It looks as if it's not gone away. So he still left himself a lot of work to do. So in third position, on bike number 11, yet another KTM 360 is Boonen. And he's closing very, very fast on the Kawasaki of Leok, and in fact passes him on that very, very fast straight section, and Boonen goes on to win just ahead of Leok.
Jan, it's your first race win for a long time. Must be really happy.
Yeah, it's a long time ago, and I'm really happy with that. I make a very bad start in the first moto, and yeah, I twisted the good result in the second one, and I know I was physically good in shape, and I did it.
The change of bike must give you big motivation for the new year.
Also, but it's very hard. I had a very nice bike to handling, but I have a lot of less power than last year. And on some tracks it's better, but on this track you have to work very hard on the bike.
So now you've got this track out of the way, you must be really confident for the hard tracks coming up.
Yeah, I promise nothing, but I do every GP my best.
And so to the podium for the final results of the day. And the last word from Kurt Nickel.
Kurt Nickel, after a great result in the first race, were you a little disappointed with the result in the second?
I guess I was a little disappointed, but I'm not really disappointed with how the day's gone, because when I came here I'd have been happy to take 15 points out of this track, and I also expected a guy like Smets maybe to take 40 points, so I was fully expecting to be like 20 points behind after tonight already, and the fact that Avo Leok I don't think is going to be a big pusher for the title, so in actual fact I've either equalled or taken points off all the people that matter, so I mean it's been a good day for me overall.
Second race, you caught on past shanking at one point, but later in the race you dropped back a little bit.
Yeah, I tried real hard at the start of the race because I had such a bad start. I crashed twice on the first lap, and I pushed real hard to get through, and I did get through real quick, but then I was tired at the end. In the last 15 minutes I was just hanging on.
Is the bike as fully developed as it's going to be for the rest of the season?
Pretty much so, yeah. I'm really, really happy with the bike now. It's working real, real good, and you know, for me, getting the second place around Lommel is incredible. I just never could have imagined that I could do that. So I mean, I think the bike's working really good.
So you must be very confident for the rest of the season with what I call tracks that are going to favour you.
Yeah, we've got one more sand track later on in the year, but I mean the other 10 tracks are superb for me, really. I mean, it just isn't any bad tracks, so I feel very confident at the moment.
Well, we've arrived. It's Indonesia, it's Yogyakarta, it's moped mad country, and round one of the 125 motocross GP. Paul Malin, with an injury earlier in the week in practice, still in a good frame of mind, and he's looking positive. Viali, he's going to be aboard a Yamaha for 97, and he's got some work to do. Bobby Moore from the US, beautifully prepared machine. He'll be in there looking for win, as will Brian Jorgensen. He's aboard the Cat machine with his British teammate riding out of Mildenhall in the UK, Carl Nunn. Bobby Moore just finding time to do some ventilation repairs. And Alessandro Puzar, the X250 and 125 world champion, looking in fine fettle. Paul Malin on the Cadbury Boost Yamaha. A bad back, but he said, I have to go out and have a look. I'll give it my best shot. He went out to practice. Certainly, the crowd were keen to see him. Sebastian Tortelli was out of the way, and it should well be Paul Malin's year. But a disastrous start with back problems. And finally, Malin said, I've got to say goodbye, get on a plane, I'm not able to ride. Coyote was a lot more upbeat as he headed for the gate and to get onto the line for the first heat of the day. Some good racing to come. 15-second board up and running, the gate will drop. The Indonesian 125 GP gets underway. Very, very long start straight. They sweep around to the right-hand corner, then we'll pick up as they come towards us. Let's have a look for a number. Who's it going to be? 121. That's Coyote on the Yamaha. Coyote off to a very, very good start indeed. I can see Sagai in there. I can see Vial in there. Bobby Moore was in there. But it's all about Coyote at the moment. Bobby Moore on the Yamaha. So it's all about Yamahas at the moment. Then Vial. Then number 4 comes in. That's the guy on the factory TM. That'll mix up, but at the moment it's all a Yamaha story. Paul Malin missing through a back injury. He's not been able to ride in the first heat. Bobby Moore looking very, very strong and positive at the moment. Viali right up there with him as well. Then Sagai. Behind Sagai is number 21. That's Carl Nunn from the UK. So Carl Nunn off to a very, very good start. Indeed, he's aboard the Cat Honda, but it's still Coyote setting the pace at the moment. Indonesian Grand Prix. The heat is going to get to them. The dust is going to get to them. They must have done a lot of preparation. Viali's still there. And then coming charging through the field, we see number 25. That's Frederici on the Husqvarna. He passes Sagai. Sagai comes back again. Then we pick up with Coyote. He certainly has had a very, very good start. First heat of the day in the Indonesian Grand Prix. They've got to get points in the bank very, very quickly while Malin is away, because the Cadbury Boost Yamaha will be back very quickly and very, very strongly. So they need to get some points on the board while Malin is missing. Bad start to the season for Paul Malin. Bobby Moore looking very good at the moment. He's ridden 250s and 125s. Then it's Vial. All the Yamaha mounted riders. Yamaha looking very, very strong for the year. Then the Husqvarna. That's Frederici. He's moved up. He's been able to pass Charlier. And then it's number 7, Bellametti. There's Coyote, the race leader. Has not put a foot wrong in the first heat so far. He's certainly done an excellent job of work for the Yamaha, as has Bobby Moore on the next of the factory Yamaha machines. And so Coyote takes the first win of the day, followed over the line by Bobby Moore. And in third spot, we're going to see number 3, that's Vial. So that makes it a Yamaha 1, 2, and 3. And a very dehydrated but smiling Bobby Moore. So after a quick and well-deserved break, some liquid due to the incredible heat on the day, it was back to the line for heat number 2. And could Moore reverse the order with Coyote and set the table straight from their 94 encounters? Back into the first corner for race number 2. Who's it going to be? There's dust. There's a lot of dust. Somebody must have gone down. Carl Nunn has gone down in the first corner. That's going to mix up the points. Bobby Moore has gone to the front. Coyote has gone to second. Vial has gone to third. Then Puzar on the factory TM is up with the race leaders this time. So that is certainly going to mix up the race order. But at the end of a couple of laps, Coyote is back to the front. Bobby Moore has to slot in behind him. And it's all about the two-man show of Coyote and Moore all over again. Chiodi started to pull away very, very quickly. Vial slotted into third. Then we pick up on the Honda of Jorgensen, but he's down in 6th or 7th spot. Behind him is Segai. And there's certainly some riders that have left themselves a lot of work to do in the incredible heat of the Indonesian Grand Prix. Then it was Craig Pratley on bike number 27, the sole flyer of the Union Jack at this stage, and then back to the front of the race and the flying Italian. Bobby Moore just didn't have the speed or the stamina to stay with the flying Italian. Making it look so easy. Chiodi just slotted in lap after lap. Vial starting to tire, starting to make silly mistakes. And that's what cost time, but no mistakes from the man up front. He won the first heat. Bobby Moore certainly wanted to take the second, but couldn't get close enough at this stage. So the man that they have to beat is going to be Chiodi. And Paul Malin must be wondering what has happened. But wondering what has happened is Brian Jorgensen as well. He's going to have a quiet word to the steering head of that machine. He's going to stop, give it one more try and see if the Honda will burst into life. There he goes, Jorgensen back on the circuit. Well, was the final kick that did it, and away goes Brian Jorgensen. But Chiodi, he must already be wondering where the last lap board is. Then, number 100, Puzar, who's moved up into 2nd spot. Behind him, aboard the Kawasaki number 22 is Charlier. Then it's Vial and Moore having a ding-dong. They're going to go right to the wire, but at the moment, Vial has still got the better of Moore. Moore will have a look. Vial and Moore. Moore goes to the inside. Moore goes through. Viali, can he come back again? Moore holds him off. Jorgensen still there. He's looking mighty tired indeed. That's Brian Jorgensen. The checkered flag for Chiodi on the Yamaha. Second across is going to be Puzar. And then third man to cross the line in a switch of fortunes at the last minute was Colmore, with Vial and Moore dropping quite a long way back. And so it was that a super fit Chiodi took the 2 wins for the day. And so to round 2, Aguida in Portugal. Voland and Tortelli tied on points after Spain, but now it's a different story. Tortelli is missing due to an ankle injury, and Mane Bafut looking to capitalize on whatever might come his way. Yves de Maria, number 4, one of the riders that could upset the apple cart today. Current world champion Stefan Everts aboard the 97, 250 Honda, privately entered for this year. The searing heat of Portugal, and the riders know all about dehydration. They've got a lot of work to do. Number 7, that's Pit Byra. He's elected to run the 96 Honda. That's the non-perimeter frame machine, as opposed to what Stefan Everts is running. And then Jockey Carlson on the RWJ, very, very well prepared Hondas. Sylvain Gabors, the Suzuki boss man, has a look over his proteges. The Pirelli man, as always, with a job of work to do. And a great improvement over Carl Presswood with Paul Cooper's brand new apprentice. Downtown, Mr. Brown, back on the line. Very mixed fortune so far, and he's got all the work to do. Mike Brown, having started the year well in France, not been successful so far in GPs, and Suzuki showing yet again their front-end bracing that was announced at Bercy earlier in the year. And so to the line for Heat 1 of Aguida in Portugal, and the 250 Grand Prix is about to get underway. The all clear is signaled, pit boards come out. All got a job of work to do. The board turns, the gate will drop shortly. Who's going to get the whole shot? Who's going to get there first? Tortelli is missing, the whole shot king is not there. Eyes down and look in. It looked to me like Stefan Everts went through first, but we'll have to wait and see. I think somebody has gone down. De Wit has gone down in the first turn. That looks like the helmet of Stefan Everts, bike number 1, privately entered Honda. Behind him is Pit Byra. Then is Jockey Carlson on the RWJ Silkeleen Honda. Then is Talon Voland, the man that won in Spain. But now the race is on. Look at the water that they've had to put down on the circuit. Incredible heat, incredible dust. And now all you can see is the little brown drops, number 75. Mike Brown is there, so he's had a better start. We know that Pit Byra is not too far off the race leaders. They've got a lot of race time to go, a lot of dust, incredible heat. Stefan Everts, the man that told us he had to get onto the podium today. Well, can he do it? He's got a long day ahead of him at Aguida in Portugal. Voland already on the charge, goes after him. Talon Voland on the Chesterfield Yamaha. Stefan Everts on the privately entered HRC Honda, current world champion. Pit Byra as well. He knows that he's got plenty to do. The lap boards are coming out already. The pits will be telling them what to do. Everybody with their instructions, but it's still Everts. Everts is there, but he hasn't got too much of a lead. There's not that much in it at the moment. The man that's looking strong to me is Voland. He did so well in Spain. He tied on points with Tortelli. Tortelli is missing, so Voland knows that he's got an opportunity today to go slightly ahead. Werner de Wit, he's the man that crashed in the first corner, but he's starting to pick up and come through the field very, very quickly indeed. Difficult to pick up on the race numbers at this stage. Covered in mud already. That's Mike Brown. And then behind him is number 2. That's Marnik Befoots. He had to come together earlier in the race with Thierry Bataille, and regrettably that resulted in a broken leg for Bataille. So Bataille out for a long, long time to come. Befoots working his way through the field. Get close. That's a serious lap signal. That'll go out to Talon Voland, I'm sure. And Stefan Everts is quite happy just to keep on pulling. But they're right behind him. Pit Byra has gone missing. Jockey Carlson is on the charge. Jockey Carlson now is on the charge. Stefan Everts is still there, but the RWJ Silkeleen Honda, Colin Reed's mount for 97. He's now going to put his ex-teammate Everts under some serious pressure. Jockey Carlson, number 9, has passed Stefan Everts, the world champion. And Carlson is pulling away and pulling quickly. And then behind them, Talon Voland, the man that currently leads the championship. There's the RWJ pit crew. They're telling Jockey Carlson, get on with the job you've got to do. Never mind what's in your rearview mirror. Chesterfield Yamaha pit crew are out there as well. They're shouting their man. Talon Voland, but Jockey Carlson, RWJ Silkeleen Honda. What a great win. Colin Reed must be ecstatic. Stefan Everts will go to second, and third place will go to Talon Voland. And so a great win for Jockey Carlson, for Honda, for Silkeleen, and for Dunlop Tyres.
It's not really like summertime here.
So it's all smiles for Jockey Carlson, but he's got it all to do again in heat number 2. And so the return of the adrenaline, tractor down to the line for heat number 2. Everts' bike being pushed down, well prepared as always. Then it's Werner de Wit coming to the line, and then a man in a lot of pain and a heavily strapped wrist, Marnik Befoots. The cavalry charge is on again. Who's it going to be? We can see a Honda. We can see Stefan Everts. We can see Mike Brown. We can see Talon Voland. Well, there's a whole gaggle of them coming through there at a very, very big speed indeed. Pit Byra was certainly there. Mike Brown has got the inside line, but charging on the outside. Meinik Befoots on the Johnson Suzuki, bike number 2. He will go ahead of Mike Brown. Puts his foot out, puts the power on. Mike Brown has got nowhere to go. So Befoots has moved up nicely as well. Mike Brown still well placed at the moment, but a long, long race. Byra is going to get in there as well. Then we've got bike number 15. That's Paul Cooper on the SoCal Kawasaki. The rider from the UK, but it's still Stefan Everts. Stefan Everts and Befoots. Meinik Befoots. This is the way 1996 ended, with a duel in the sun, and it's all going to happen again. Stefan Everts and Meinik Befoots. Befoots now knows that he's got Everts right in front of him. Everts daren't look back. He says he's got to get onto the podium, and he doesn't have too much time. He's got to capitalize on Tortelli's absence. Everts certainly a world champion, 24 or 25 Grand Prix under his belt, just behind his father's tally. And Meinik Befoots says, as long as I can see you, I know exactly where you are. De Maria coming up to have a look as well. De Maria says, don't leave me behind. I want to get in there with the pack as well. De Maria, a very, very capable rider in 125, moved up to 250s, has now come back to 125s again. And Befoots is still looking all around the circuit. De Witt is still in there with him as well. Befoots can't see enough daylight. Well, he's certainly not going to see any daylight at the moment. He is right onto the back mudguard of the Honda. Befoots taking very different lines to Everts, and he knows he's got to keep out of trouble. De Maria having a look, but the race leaders are going away from him. So it's still Honda versus Suzuki, and they've got back markers already, so Stefan Everts will want to get past him very, very quickly indeed. De Maria has gone up to 3rd, and bike number 75, Mike Brown, he was in 4th, he has gone missing, and Voland has gone back to 4th now, but looking a little wobbly. Mechanics are shaking their heads. They're wondering why he is dropping back through the pack. May well have some sort of mechanical problem or just exhaustion. Stefan Everts flies over. Meinik Befoots still right there with him. Stefan Everts, good enough for the podium. He must be elated. Meinik Befoots, the strong man of motocross on the Johnson Suzuki, is going to get a 2nd, nursing his arm. Not looking a happy chap at all. And he's certainly going to need some attention. And so to the podium for the final of the day. And it was Everts, Befoots, and De Maria. But there's one man that's going to come back.
Joachim Karlsson, a real mixed day. The first heat, a brilliant win. What happened in the second?
Second, I got a not so good start, and I was in the mid pack somewhere, and then I came across some ruts in the corner, and then I crashed, and then I was just gonna stand up, but then somebody hit me in the back, like rode into my shoulder, and it hurt me a little bit, but then I started to ride, and it was okay for a few laps, but then it started to hurt really bad, so I decided to come in and have a check with my shoulder, but I think it's okay, it's just badly bruised, I think.
But you must be going home quite pleased with the first heat win.
Yeah, for first heat was good, I'm really pleased with that, but still not good when you don't have any points in the second one, so it's overall it's not so good with 20 points, but for sure that was my first win. Win in moto, so I feel really good about that.
Another man that had a really mixed day. Number 2, Meinik Befoots.
Meinik Befoots, a pretty tough day for you.
Yeah, yesterday already in the free practice I make a big crash, and I hit my shoulder and my knee. When everything was fixed with my trainer, then first heat Batisti's sliding away in front of me, and I hit him so hard that I hurt my wrist. So that was painful, but normally for the second heat I was thinking about not riding, but we taped it really good in, and some tablets for painkillers, and I was really happy with that second place.
And it was a good second place.
Yeah, it was really tough. I was thinking about Stefan and not about myself and about my wrist. I was thinking about Stefan and racing, but it was a long race for me.
And when you crossed the line, you was in much pain?
Yeah, I had a lot of pain sometimes. Sometimes I jumped too far or something, and then I hurt so badly. And I have to take my clutch completely different. I have to take 3 fingers. Normally I take 1 finger, now I have to take 3 fingers. And that was bad because now I have blisters everywhere.
Then Mike Brown, what a story. Not a point on the board yet, but he'll be back.
Things not going particularly well at the moment, Mike.
No, I've had 2 weekends not very good, but I think I was expecting just a little bit too much. Maybe the next race, I just go out and start a whole new season, really. I mean, I've DNF'd and no points in 2 races. The next race, just go out and try my hardest. And
But it's tough, because it's learning all over again, you know?
Yes, this is my first year. The tracks are all new to me. All the racers, I don't know who they are. When I'm racing with them, it's a lot different than back home, and I know who I'm racing with. And just everything's a lot different. I thought I'd be more used to everything, but when racing comes, it's a lot different than I think.
But it's a long season, and we've seen it before when people make a really good start to the season. You can still pull your way back from here, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, McKelly was telling me, Donnie, first year he raced for McKelly's first 3 races, never no good. And after the 3rd race, he won everything. So hopefully that can happen to me.
Well, we hope your luck returns soon, because you're not having much of it at the moment.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Mike Brown.
Thanks.
And a final word from today's race winner, Stefan Everts.
First win of 97?
Yeah, first win of 97, hopefully not the last. It's been a pretty good day. First moto I was second, and I didn't ride so relaxed. But I managed to finish second, and second moto I took the whole shot, and Marek was pushing all the race very, very hard, and I tried to make no mistakes, what I did, and I was winning the second moto, so I was winning the overall.
But many changes, new bike, new frame, new team.
Yeah, that's true. You know, last weekend in Talavera I was kind of nervous, and maybe it's because of that. Yeah, it's also the first couple of races from the season, and everything is new. So also the first moto today I wasn't so relaxed. You know, second moto was better.
But going back now to Holland, you must feel very confident going into the sand.
Yeah, Holland is it's a very good track for me. I was winning a lot of races there, so I'm looking forward to go there and to make another good race.
Jeremy McGrath winning his 3rd consecutive Orlando Supercross. And a straightaway away in the corner, and then the checkered flag in the finish line jump. It is once again Jeremy McGrath. From the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, it's the opening round of the 1997 Supercross Series. Art Ekman, David Bailey, Davey Coombs with you. It's one of the most exciting beginnings to a season in recent years, with 4-time champion Jeremy McGrath switching from a Honda to a Suzuki. On that gate right now, getting set, Damon Huffman, number 17, Jeremy McGrath leans in. They're starting to rev up, and the season is underway for the 250s. It is Jeremy McGrath on the inside, Emig to the outside. McGrath is tied up in turn 1. He has an atrocious start. Out in front is Jeff Emig, number 3.
Steve Lamson down the first corner. He and Jeremy both getting tangled up.
Bradshaw went down. He was in second place at the time.
What a bad break for all the top 3 guys. McGrath down again before the peristyle, and Emig pressured by Albertine.
Brown and McGrath ran into each other. Lamson just passing Jeremy McGrath in last place.
What a gift for Jeff Emig right now. McGrath, Lamson, and Bradshaw, three guys that were on fire in the heat race, all at the back of the pack now. Great opportunity for Albertine to win his first Supercross.
Lamson and McGrath went down again. Lamson making the contact in the corner.
McGrath holding up his arms like, come on. That's twice now, Steve. Come on.
Yeah, those guys had to work together. They need to go up through the field, and it's not going to happen now.
Jeff Emig, 250 national champion, 1996. The World Supercross champion last year as well. 125 national outdoor champion in 92, trying to hold off the three-time world champion, Greg Albertine, number 8. Greg Albertine to the inside, a bar-to-bar battle into the triple. Albertine has the speed and the momentum. And the important factor, of course, is Steve Lamson is in 14th, Jeremy McGrath in 15th, guys.
Yeah, Jeremy's just right now, he's got to be frustrated. He wanted to, so bad to come out here and just have a good finish and try to win the race. He wanted to win so bad. I don't want to be inside his helmet right now. He's not a happy person.
Doug Henry really starting to put the pressure on Emig. While we were at commercial, Emig made a mistake. His throttle hand came completely off the handlebar. He saved it, put it back on.
Here comes Henry to the inside. Emig goes down. Ward moves into second place. Ezra Lusk blazing by for third.
I wouldn't want to be inside Emig's helmet right now either, but it looked like maybe he had made so many mistakes. I would think that was arm pump.
Albertine, Henry, Ward, Lusk, and Button in that order. So the battle for 5th place is on.
Huffman so much faster in the whoop section, takes the inside line. Lusk tries to square him off, but Huffman had the momentum.
Huffman has those long legs, and that bike just works underneath him, and he doesn't even know what's going on. He is incredibly fast in those hoops. Unbelievable.
That used to probably worry you, didn't it?
Every weekend.
Damon Huffman coming back from that horrible ACL accident of last year. Probably raced more races in the offseason than anyone.
And here they come into the whoop section. Watch Damon Huffman, like Skip said, using those long legs up the inside.
And Lusk responding. There's Huffman with the pass.
If he's close enough to anybody through that whoop section, unless they're in his line, he's going to make the pass. You can see Lusk trying to take different lines and get him back. Doug Henry starting to close in a little bit on Albertine.
Conditioning might play a very important role toward the ending of this great first round from the Los Angeles Coliseum. Only 7 riders in the history of Supercross have won their first ever super event in the first round of a Supercross series. But Doug Henry is looking for his second Supercross victory. He's putting on the charge.
Huffman with a problem.
Damon Huffman trying to get that bike restarted.
Awesome view from behind going down to the peristyle. You can see the crowd at the complete opposite end of the stadium. It just free fall. It's a little dark up there. These guys are jumping 3/4 of the way down. Probably falling 4 stories.
Is this the final lap? Yes, it is. And it's Greg Albertine out in front, going through the rockers at the end of the track. He doesn't have far to go for victory. Greg Albertine, can he gain his first Supercross victory in the United States? Albertine through the timing section takes the checkered flag. Roger DeCoster has got to be going out of his mind. Ezra Lusk battling with Mike LaRocco. Mike LaRocco holds him off. Going through the timing section. Can Lusk beat him across? No, LaRocco edges him for 4th place. Larry Ward finishing in 3rd. What a great first round victory for Greg Albertine for the Los Angeles Coliseum. It was more than the usual anxious anticipation of a season's opener. With 4-time champion Jeremy McGrath creating his own team, moving to a Suzuki, intrigue permeated the entire field. In an instant, the exhilaration of promise drained quickly to a sad reality with the call. Jeremy is down. Just as swiftly as the dark side of fate showed its ugliness, an unexpected white knight rode to the rescue. After 2 years of injury and disappointment, Greg Albertine blossomed like a flower in springtime for Suzuki's first Supercross win since 1991. The high drama of round 1 left almost everyone feeling 1997 will be a wide-open, wild affair. It's get nervous time, especially for the mechanics behind the riders that don't have that sense of control now.
You know, you always pump them up and you tell them what they need to hear at this point right before the gate drops.
Yeah, we've heard you on mic a couple of times, Skip. You do a pretty good job on that. What would you tell Jeremy right now?
Think about the gate, nothing else matters.
Board sideways, so 5 to 10 seconds, and this round number 2 for the Los Angeles Coliseum of the 1997 is underway. Jeremy McGrath to the inside. It's Ezra Lusk, the whole shot. He picks up the $1,000. Larry Ward, though, comes out of the corner in the lead. Ezra Lusk and Larry Ward. Albertine goes down, number 8. Henry on the move, trying to catch Larry Ward. Ward's best finish last year was a second in Charlotte. In 1995, he ended up as an independent team rider, second in points. That's the highest ever. Here comes Henry. Ward trying to hold on. Ward's got the inside track as they go into the rutted area by the mechanics. And Larry Ward somehow held onto the lead. Can he do it through the whoops? Doug Henry just doesn't have the angle. Henry to the inside, gets by Larry Ward cleanly. So it's Doug Henry, our leader, after a second place here with the Los Angeles Coliseum last week. Henry, Ward with Lusk on the move, and Jeremy McGrath in 4th with Lamson a distant 5th.
Jeremy's still about the same distance back from the leader now that it's Henry.
Here comes Lusk. Blowing by the Honda of Troy Ryder, who comes right back in the same area he came back against the leader, Henry.
Yamaha.
He can't hang on this time.
The Yamaha guys got that section dialed in. They followed each other all around in practice today, sharing each other's lines.
Yeah, the one thing Jeremy has in his favor is the guys that happen to look behind and see that number 1 plate get a little nervous. Jeremy doesn't have that to worry about. He is the guy making them nervous.
Well, I think it's just more of a physical thing right now. Larry Ward just hoping that a good smooth ride will help him place in the top 10. McGrath now bar to bar. He's got the inside move as they go into the corner. Jeremy McGrath moves into 3rd.
Unbelievable.
Jimmy Button.
Button riding fantastic. Looked like he hit the pass.
Oh, Button goes flying through the air in his battle with Damon Huffman.
That is a tricky section over there. That's the same thing that happened to Wyndham, the same exact place. All the ruts in the faces really giving these riders fits.
Larocco and Emig. Larocco with a slow start. Emig crashed, and they both met each other on the turf.
Would expect Huffman to really get this whoop section dialed in and make up time here, but he hasn't been able to do it. Now he's starting to do the same thing as Lamson, but that's not going to make up any time. Oh, Lamson off the track.
Lamson down, and he's not getting up very quickly either. This could be a very bad break. Very bad for Team Honda. Here comes Lusk. Here comes Lusk. Can he go to the inside on the whoops? Can he get a good line on Henry? Henry looks strong. Doug Henry wins his 2nd Supercross. June of '95, Budds Creek, Maryland. Doug Henry's worst nightmare would be one of motocross's most famous crashes. January of '97, Los Angeles Coliseum. Doug Henry's brightest dream came true. Pioneering back surgery, lots of prayers, and the belief that he would not only race again but would win again became a reality last weekend. Another surprise winner, Greg Albertine, took the checkers in round 1. For the first time since his rookie season, 4-time consecutive champion Jeremy McGrath finds himself winless going into round 3. A new team, a new start will tonight be déjà vu for McGrath. From Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, it's round 3 of the Thor Parts Unlimited AMA Supercross Series. Hello, everybody. Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Marty Reed bringing you the action. We're just about set for the start of round 3 of the Thor Parts Unlimited AMA Supercross.
There's $1,000 at stake for the guy that gets the hole shot. They've painted a white chalk line across just before turn 2. First guy across that line will pick up an extra grand.
But the way that turn 2 is right now, he might not be the first one out of turn 2. We'll check it out. $1,000 for the 1/900 Pro Race Hole Shot Award. 5 to 10 seconds, and that gate will drop, and we'll be underway to see who wins the grand. It is Emig. Lampson goes down. A pile up behind Lampson. Hughes gets up out of that pile and is back in the race. Doug Henry also down. Damon Bradshaw along with Lammy. But our leader right now is Jeff Emig. Out in front is Jeff Emig. Not far behind is Albertine and Jeremy McGrath. And then it's Larry Ward and Damon Huffman. McGrath to the inside against his teammate with Team Suzuki, and he comes back a little bit as Albertine gets the advantage back again.
It's a great attempt by Jeremy to take the inside.
Here comes Jeremy again through the whoops.
It was amazing. He went to the inside and still almost jumped the double.
McGrath in second place to challenge Jeff Emig, baby. Taste it. And that is exactly what Jeremy McGrath is doing. Pulling up within a bike length of Jeff Emig here in the early going of our 250 main event.
Well, this will make Emig nervous, that's for sure. And look at Jeremy, never follows, going back to the inside again. Also a smart idea to keep out of that roost. You saw that roost from Emig on the outside right there. He's trying to keep clear vision.
Jeff Emig, the only rider to beat Jeremy McGrath on that Honda machine last year. He did it in his native St. Louis, Missouri area, but Emig is holding on for dear life here in Phoenix, Arizona. Not getting a good speed out of those little bump sections.
It's getting tough, and now that Jeremy's this close, he's going to have to start protecting his line. Look how far to the inside. He went in that corner, makes a little mistake there. It's good news for Jeremy.
A lot of wheel spin out of that corner.
Well, he had to go so much to the inside to protect his line. He didn't get a good exit out of the corner. This is where Jeremy's been fast.
What a battle! Jeremy McGrath takes this first lead of the season. Jeremy McGrath is going to have to hold on, though, as Jeff Emig's to the inside. Emig doesn't smash him. Clean pass, clean corner, and Jeremy McGrath is in the lead. Emig, though, not willing to give up, tries to block past him on the final turn before the finish line jump. Larocco and Hughes. Number 11 is Lusk. Craig is 15. Henry is number 20 after that bat. And Lusk is down. First time he's gone down this year. Jeremy McGrath spun out in that sand, and Emig is now in first place with Albertine in second and Jeremy McGrath in third with Larry Ward in fourth.
Larry Ward, number 6 there behind Jeremy, really starting to put the pressure on by the finish line jump. Keeps getting close to Jeremy. He's getting a little quicker through the whoop section. Now look at David Huffman.
And Albertine is off the track. So Emig has a horrendous lead.
The battle for second behind Emig is a three-way battle now, and that may be to the benefit of Emig.
5 seconds in front of Jeremy McGrath. We've got a three-way battle for second place. Emig and Huffman goes off the track. Huffman very frustrated. Jeff Emig takes round number 3. Oh, what an exciting start to the series for 1997 in Supercross. And a record 63,565 fans saw Jeff Emig become the third winner of the season. What a battle! Jeremy McGrath takes this first lead of the season. Just as it appeared that the former champion would win his first race of 1997, Jeremy McGrath submitted a brain fade, the lapse in focus, and in the blink of an eye, he was down. The opportunist, Jeff Emig, would take the lead and win a third Supercross of his career. Jeremy settling for second. Emig was joined on the podium by teammate Ryan Hughes, a fitting dedication to Kawasaki's longtime team manager Roy Turner, who announced after almost 20 years he would be leaving the sport. Welcome to the Kingdome in Seattle, Washington for round number 4 of the Thor Parts Unlimited AMA Supercross Series. I'm Art Ekman along with David Bailey and Davey Coombs, ready to bring you the action. 30-second board is up. When it goes sideways, the gate will drop anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds. It's get anxious time. You see Jeremy Emig right there. There's Jeremy McGrath alongside of Albertine. Number 17 is Damon Huffman right next to Jeremy McGrath. Let's take a look and see who gets out of the chute first. Oh, the crowd's gone. They're really enjoying it. It could go at any time now. The 250 main from the Seattle Kingdome is underway. Lamson, a good start, number 4. Does he pick up the $1,000? It's close. Michael Craig, number 15. Jeremy McGrath is right there. Oh, a great start. Ezra Lusk is right behind Jeremy McGrath, number 11. In first place, it's Mike Craig. Jeremy McGrath in second. Steve Lamson in good position third. Then it's Ezra Lusk trying to make a move on Lamson. Craig, Lusk, Ward, McGrath, Lamson, and Doug Henry. Here comes Lusk. The young rider from Bainbridge, Georgia. Block pass. Ezra Lusk, number 11. Back and forth we go, bar to bar. Over the Thor triple. Oh, good acceleration on the outside. And now here's Lusk on the inside.
Craig cuts back to the inside if he can do the triple. Lusk looks over at him, shuts the door. These guys are starting to pull away just a little bit from McGrath and Lamson, but Larry Ward now. Larry Ward and McGrath swapping positions the last couple of laps.
Then Larry Ward, then Jeremy McGrath, and here comes Doug Henry approaching the rear end of Jeremy McGrath. Oh, he's right on his roost.
Henry with that inside line. Let's see what happens here. Different timing. Look at Henry. Triples all the way over this. No one else has done that tonight.
Jeremy McGrath just able to block him out there, but what's going to happen in the whoops? Here comes Henry. Henry passes McGrath. Here comes Larry Ward, getting in front of Michael Craig, moving into second, brings the Seattle crowd alive. As we mentioned, Larry Ward's lone Supercross victory is right here in Seattle. Henry moves in front of Craig for third. So Henry is on the move.
Jeremy's still in the hunt, though. He's staying close. Like I said, you're going to have to play your cool. Lusk is down.
Lusk went down. And Larry Ward, the crowd erupts. Larry Ward has taken over the lead, but hot on his trail is Doug Henry. Ward took a third place here in 1995. Ended up 8th in 96 after leading the first 10 laps. Larry Ward, bar to bar. Doug Henry. A lot of Doug Henry fans here. Very knowledgeable fans of the Pacific Northwest, knowing how far Doug Henry has come back to lead this race.
Lamson's starting to put the pressure on Emig now.
Oh, that's a good duel. Lamson feeling the heat. He puts the heat on himself to move up that ladder for Team Honda, the Lone Ranger.
It's a great track. You can see all the different choices of lines. Everyone's got a different idea of the fastest way through sections. Because of the ruts, getting everyone fits. Lamson right there coming up short. Looks like he hurt himself.
And here comes LaRocco moving up a spot. Jeremy is still only 3.5 seconds in back, but we're on the final lap. Almost an impossibility unless Henry should bobble.
Smart for Larry Ward. Oh, Emig lands on Larry Ward.
Ward doesn't want to give it up.
That was smart for Ward. He took the inside in the corner.
And Emig had trouble in the whoops. The checkered flag for Doug Henry. He becomes the first two-time winner of the 1997 season. Well, the talk in the pits prior to race time was Doug Henry.
every round of the 97 USA Supercross Championship. 100 minutes of action per round, and it's available from Motovision. Multi-Air, the choice of HRC Honda Team RWJ. Multi-Air helped Jockey Carlson battle through the dust of Portugal to win. Multi-Air filters. Talon Voland. Stefan Everts. Bob Moore. Paul Malin and Ryan Hughes all wear City boots.
Henry to the inside, gets by Larry Ward cleanly. Henry looks strong. Doug Henry wins. And here comes Doug Henry. What's going to happen to the whoops? Here comes Henry. Henry passes McGrath. By the bar, Doug Henry. The checkered flag for Doug Henry. He becomes the first two-time winner of the 1997 season.